Look how empty Heathrow is. I'm so excited to be in Vienna. Hi everyone, how's life? And welcome to another one of my videos. Today I am actually at Heathrow Airport, Terminal 2, just behind me over there. It's been a while since I've been at an airport. I'm flying to Austria today. Yeah, we're in the beginning of June right now, and obviously we're still in a pandemic. There might be, an airplane is about to fly just there. You might be able to, there are kids screaming here. Let me just move a little bit. I really hope you can't hear me under the mask. I'm gonna try and speak as loudly as I can, but yeah, because of the pandemic, of course there are still some rules in place in terms of, you know, some borders being closed to certain countries, you know, a lot of extra things that you have to do before you fly. So I thought I would vlog today, because I'm actually going on 2 planes as well, because currently speaking there aren't any direct flights from the UK to Austria. Austria decided to ban any direct flights from the 1st of June because of the new variant in the UK. They just wanted to be cautious, but yeah, I'm still allowed to go to Austria because I'm an Austrian citizen. My passport is Austrian, so at the moment Austria is only allowing EU citizens, I believe, into its country, and maybe under really extreme circumstances they might let other people as well, but generally speaking, I think if you're a UK citizen you probably can't go right now, and that's why, like I said, there aren't any direct flights to Austria. So I'm going to be going to Zurich in Switzerland. I'm going to be flying there first, changing, and then getting on another flight to Austria, to Vienna. So 2 flights. I've got my bags here. Sorry about the screaming child. The bags are here. It's actually a very, very hot day as well. Very warm day in London today. I don't know what's happened. Austria is going to be cooler. It's meant to be raining in Austria for the next 5 days or so, whereas in London, why is that child screaming so much? I'm so sorry about that. Lordy. Yeah, come along with me. I'll try and film as much as I can and let you know of the procedures, of everything that they've got, you know, in place. I did have to fill in the passenger locator form before I could even come here. Basically, I think most countries are doing this now. I know that Austria is, obviously. It's just like a form that you have to fill in before you fly. That tells you that tells them your details, your phone number, and also which countries you've been in, you know, how long you're planning to stay, that kind of thing. Obviously, I am planning to stay in Austria for a while, so if you're planning to stay somewhere for a while, obviously I'm an Austrian citizen as well, so I didn't have to put any return date. But I think they're very being extra. Right, I have missed the sound of airport announcements. I've got 1 bag here, as I said, to check in, and this is just my carry-on, and I've got a small bag here as well. Yeah, come along. You can already see all the signs at Heathrow to keep a safe distance from people, and also only passengers can come through here. There was also a sign just at the very start that said you can't come into this area unless you have a face covering. So of course that's the outside, so people coming from outside, they are allowed to not have any face masks, but as soon as you come into this area you do need to put your mask on, and then of course you go inside. So I've just checked my bag, my 1 big suitcase, and I wanted to give a massive shout out to the lovely staff member who checked me in. I wasn't sure if I had to do a passenger locator form for Switzerland as well, for Zurich, because obviously that's where I'm transiting through. I'm literally only going to be in Zurich for an hour and a half, and most places told me that I didn't have to. When I first got here as well, at the very start of the queue, the lady there said she doesn't think I need to do one for Zurich. She wanted to see my Austrian one, but she said if you're just going through Zurich you don't need one. But yeah, when I went to check my bags, they did say, you know, that I do need to do one for Switzerland as well, because Switzerland is not an EU, I mean it's an EU country, but it's Schengen, so just because it's not fully EU, does that make sense? Is it even an EU country? I don't know. It is an EU country, it's part of the EU kind of, but it's not. In any case, it's not one of the full-on EU countries. It's a bit more independent than Austria, for instance. So that's why I did need to do one as well, but she helped me out. She was like, don't worry at all, it's very, very quick and simple to do. The Austrian one didn't take me long at all that I did last night. The Swiss one I just did on my phone. She literally took me through the steps. There was a bit where obviously normal people going to Switzerland would have to give their address to let them know where they're staying. Obviously, because I'm literally going to be there for an hour, she said to just write transit in every single empty bit that I would see. So it would be like, it would say, for instance, oh, where are you staying? And I would just put transit. It would say like, what's your phone number for, you know, Switzerland? And I would just put transit. So that was really good. I just wanted to give a shout out to her because she really helped me out. She was really lovely. Yeah, I've got my boarding pass now as well. I think I'm in row 11F. So very, very exciting times. The time is as well right now, like I thought it was going to take me much longer. It's only about 12:25. My flight isn't until 1:45. 12:25, 1:45, so I've got over an hour to go. I'm not normally somebody who gets to the airport really early. I like getting to the airport just before I need to go. I don't know, it's just, I'm not the type to come early. But now I've got quite a lot of space, so I think I'm going to go through security so I can get that done as well. And then if I've got time on the other side, I might get myself like, I don't know, a drink, maybe something to eat if there are any places. Otherwise I'll just wait until my flight. But so far the service, everything's been really, really well done. The airport's not too busy either, and I felt very, very safe. Okay, well, security is done. Literally took about 5 minutes. Very, very simple. They did ask me to take my watch off though, to my Apple Watch, as well as my shoes as well. So that's something that doesn't always happen, especially not in London. I feel like it's more of like something that happens in America, and when I go to Florida, that's where they're like so extreme that they make you take off your shoes and everything. But yeah, I don't know if it's like a new COVID thing that they really want to be extra, you know, super safe, or if it's because it's quite quiet, so they thought, why not just ask me to take my shoes, and like everybody's shoe, even if like I'm just wearing Vans basically. So it's not like anything extreme, it's not boots, it's not anything heavy, and they still asked me to take it off. They also obviously asked me to take off my Apple Watch, and despite all this, I still beeped. But I know that the beeps are very random, so I had to just go through the extra bit. And yeah, really, really nice and easy. The time is like 12:40 now, so I've still got over an hour until my flight. I'm excited. I'm just gonna go and chill somewhere. Look how empty Heathrow is. Like, hardly anyone at all. I fly through this terminal a lot because I obviously go to Austria a lot because I've got family there, my granddad lives there. Obviously I'm talking about pre-COVID times, but yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it this quiet. And I've noticed as well that now they have these little seat blockers, which most places are doing now, which say do not use the seat. So even in the waiting areas, you can't be sitting next to other people, which is good. It's good that they've blocked them out. Yeah, normally I only ever see this part of Heathrow empty if I fly really early in the morning. So sometimes when I fly to Vienna, again talking about pre-pandemic times, I would fly maybe around like 7 AM. I think Austrian Airlines normally does have a flight that flies from London Heathrow to Vienna at just after 7 AM, which means I'm at the airport at like 5:30 kind of thing. Obviously, like I said, at the moment there's no direct flights at all from London to Austria. That's why I'm flying through Zurich with Swiss Air instead of Austrian Airlines. Normally I would be using Austrian Airlines, but Swiss Air and Austrian Airlines are basically connected anyway. But yeah, normally the only time I would see if the airport's so quiet, like I said, would be if I'm flying in the morning, which I'm not, because it's like, as you saw, afternoon time, nearly 1 o'clock right now. My gate isn't even shown yet. I'm so not used to being so early to the airport. I know most people like to get to the airport like 3 hours early. That's just not me. But yeah, plenty of options to go. I'm not even that hungry, but there is a Pret here, so I might just go to Pret, get myself a croissant or something. There's a Hamleys. I don't really know what to do with myself. I've got loads of time and not a lot I want to do. I'm a little bit like tired though, so I might just sit. I do need a coffee, let's be real. So I did end up going to Pret. I contemplated staying there and eating in, but there seemed to be quite a lot of people in there. It wasn't like overly packed, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, there weren't very many like empty tables around that weren't close to other people. So I just decided to, you know, take it to leave. And now I'm just sat on one of the chairs here next to 2 of these signs, so that makes me feel even better because 2 people can't sit next to me, and I mean the seat after that is empty anyway. This is my view. Yeah, well, it's not the best view at the moment. Let me just take my suitcase. Yeah, that's my view. W. Smith's is over there. I might go and have a look later just to see if they've got anything exciting. I probably won't buy anything. And yeah, Pret is just round there. I'll show you what I got in case you dare. So just some crisps, you know, not on its own obviously. Oh, my hair's a bit of a mess as well, by the way. I got myself this tuna sandwich. It's one of my favorite things to get from Pret. It's like tuna, mayo and cucumber baguette. Really, really enjoy it. I got an orange juice, which I also really enjoy from Pret. Like fresh, nicely squeezed fresh orange juice, which really tastes nice and very, very fresh as well. And a bottle of water, of course, because I drink a lot of water. That's like one of the few good things I do in my life. I drink water a lot, and I always need water on me, especially if I'm flying. So yeah, just gonna chill here, eat my food. And I'm excited to go on board soon, though. I'm excited to be on the plane and see what it's like. It's gonna be a short flight, you know, but still excited. Oh yeah, by the way, the reason I didn't get myself a coffee is because I did actually have a coffee already this morning before I left, and it's kind of lunchtime now, and I also don't want to be so awake that I can't like relax and kind of just close my eyes and maybe nap a little bit on the plane. I love napping on planes. I love sleeping on planes. It's my favorite thing to do when I'm on a flight. I love sleeping on them. So that's why I didn't get myself a coffee. I'll probably end up getting myself a coffee either in Zurich or once I eventually get to Vienna, which will be like 7:30 p.m. Just went through the gate, did all the bits that I need to do there, you know, had my passport checked, my boarding pass checked, and now it's literally the last leg of this journey anyway. It's exciting times. It's just so cool seeing planes. I don't know, just even seeing planes is fun. Also, if you can hear some noises, obviously whilst I'm walking right now, might not be the best audio quality. It's because I'm rolling my suitcase as well. But yeah, I haven't flown Swiss in a long time, so I'm also just excited to be on a Swiss airplane. I think the last time I probably was on one. There you go, that's our plane over there, pretty sure. There you go, can we find it? It's just there. Looks wonderful. It's going to look even more wonderful when I'm on it.
Sie fühlen sich bereits wohl bei uns an Bord und wünsche Ihnen nachher einen schönen Flug.
I've arrived in Zurich. The time is about 4:25 p.m. I've also got 2 bottles of water because they gave us a free bottle of water actually on the flight to everyone, which was nice. But like I said, I drink water a lot, so that's fine. Oh, there's a plane going off. Yeah, so I ended up just kind of queuing for a little bit, for about 5-10 minutes in the wrong queue, because obviously I'm only here for like an hour or so. Like I said, it's only a layover kind of thing. And apparently I need to go to gates A and B. Fun fact, I have actually been to the Zurich airport many times as well. A lot of you might not know this, but I was born in Switzerland, so Zurich is in Switzerland, and I wasn't born in Zurich, I was born in the French part of Switzerland, which is why I speak French, Geneva to be precise. And so back in the days, again, when I was a child, when I was in Geneva, I would fly to Zurich often, not because of any particular reason, but because sometimes it would be easier, for instance, to come to Zurich, again, as a connecting flight. It would be cheaper if I wanted to go somewhere with our family. We'd just kind of sometimes come to Zurich before we'd go other places, if that makes sense. But I have also spent some time here as a child, but not for a long time, so it is pretty cool to be back. Anyway, I need to go and find gates A and B, which apparently isn't too far. Passport control will be done here. I'll have to give my passenger locator form as well, I believe. Also, I've already spoken a bit of German, which is Swiss German, because in Switzerland they speak a particular version of German. I mean, it's still German, don't get me wrong, but it's got they basically have a certain accent and they pronounce some words differently, and it's literally called Le Suisse Allemand, or Swiss German, and I was really worried that I wouldn't understand it, but I just spoke to like the passport control lady in German. Obviously she's from here, and I noticed the accent straight away. It was a little bit difficult, but you know, it wasn't anything complicated, you know, what we were talking about, so it was fine. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, I am gonna go now and speak to you once I've done all the checks. So passport control was insanely easy. There was hardly any queue, like literally no queue at all in fact. And the lady was really lovely. They didn't even ask me for my passenger locator form, which I thought they would for Switzerland. And I did it all in German. I didn't know what passenger locator form was, so after we'd done all the checks and stuff, I was like, brauchen Sie mein passenger locator form? And she was like, nein. Let me know in the comments below what a passenger locator form is in German. I mean, I could always ask my cousin. She speaks German fluently, but yeah, I have no idea. It's a very new thing. But yeah, just waiting here now. I've got about just over an hour again. An hour and maybe 15 minutes, an hour 20 minutes. I'm very hot. Sorry, I don't look the best. Yeah, I'm literally by the gate. Gate B33. Just there. Everybody who's come from London, like I recognize people here who were on the same flight as me from London to Zurich as well. Yeah, just gonna chill here I think. I don't want to eat, I don't want to do anything. I might read a book and wait until my next flight. I am in Vienna, and one good thing actually about connecting flights is that obviously because they check my passport in Zurich in Switzerland, they're not going to check it again here, as far as I'm aware anyway. So I've come out a very different exit to what I normally would come if I'm coming directly to Vienna. It feels really nice to be back in this airport. I think the Vienna International Airport is probably my most visited airport. It's probably the airport that I've been to the most. It's either this one or the one in Geneva, because yeah, I used to fly back and forth, well not just me and my family would fly back and forth from Geneva to Austria, Vienna all the time as well when I was a child, because we have family here, my grandparents live here, my aunt and cousin live here. My first ever flight actually was from Geneva to Austria, Vienna. So my very first flight was coming to Vienna to this airport, which is I guess a random fun fact that you know I was only about, I want to say 4 or 5 months old as well, so I was quite young. I was a baby, but we wanted to come and see the grandparents, so that's why we came, or my parents wanted to see them. Anyway, I'm gonna go and see what happens. I think I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like a COVID test anyway, even if they don't check my passport. I'm sure they're gonna be checking something, so we'll just go and see what happens. So on your way out, they do have these forms available for people who forgot to maybe do them. The passenger locator forms. Over here it says bereits ausgefüllt or already filled in, otherwise you have to literally do them here. It's good because not everyone is aware that they have to fill these in, so these are aware. I've never actually, well I might have been, but I don't remember being in this part of the airport in a long time, because like I said, it's a particular part of it, and it's very, very quiet. So I was indeed correct. There was absolutely no passport checks because they'd already done them. They just had a look at my negative COVID test, PCR test that I did in London, as well as my passenger locator form, told me everything I need to know about like the virus and whatnot, and yeah, that was it. Literally the whole thing took about 2 minutes max. And the gentleman who like did my checks as well was very lovely. But yeah, really lovely. I'm just gonna go and get my bag now. I can't believe how quickly this whole thing happened. I thought it would be like a stressful situation because of the new like regulations with COVID and whatnot, but absolutely fine anyway. It was really fine here. It was fine in Zurich. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. And the corridor, by the way, that like was really empty, and you would have probably seen it earlier, it just led to like the actual area eventually, and suddenly I was like with a lot of other people. I think it's because again we had a connecting flight that we were given a special place to go. This is it. This is the Vienna airport that I fully know. So excited to do that. So it's about 7:30 p.m. in the evening here, and the airport seems pretty quiet, which is nice. I know obviously Austria has put a lot of quite extreme regulations in terms of who they're allowed or who they're allowing into the country at the moment, which is fair enough. You know, I actually think Austria's dealt with the whole pandemic pretty well, just from what I've read about it and what I've heard from my family who live here. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how they've done everything anyway. So let's find the area for London, or from Heathrow anyway. All of these are empty, so I'm guessing it's one of the ones at the end over there. Yeah, let's go. Guys, you saw the official times I showed you earlier. It was like what, 7:29? The time now, let me try and show it to you. It's 19:32, so literally it took about 3 minutes to get my bags. Obviously it was a pretty quiet flight. I say it was quiet, it actually wasn't, you know. Both flights weren't too quiet. I expected them to be quieter. Particularly the second flight was pretty busy, I felt anyway. Like it wasn't empty. There were some seats, you know, empty here and there, but I'll talk about all of this when I get home. Yeah, we are done. I'm so excited to be in Vienna. Oh wow, Vienna airport is empty. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw it this empty, honestly. It's always normally very, very busy, or at least there's people in here. There's like hardly anyone. Some of the shops are closed. Like not all the shops in the airport are open at the moment. Anchor, fun fact is, I mean, I don't even know if it's a fun fact, it's just a really, really good place if you like your pastries and bread. Really good. There is also McDonald's here. Just showing you a little tour of one of my favorite airports, I suppose. Really good. I actually prefer McDonald's in Austria than I do in the UK. It tastes just a little bit better in my personal opinion. And we do have a spa here, which I normally tend to go to whenever I come to Vienna, although, oh no, is it closed? Oh, I thought it might be, to be fair, because of the time. I feel like in normal times, non-pandemic times, it would be open later, but I mean, it is 7:30. I was going to say, I was planning to go and get some food from here for the flat, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure that my aunt's stocked up our fridge a little bit anyway, so I'm not going to be starving tonight. Not that I'm starving anyway. I'm pretty full from the food that I had today, so that's alright. Kind of tempted to get McDonald's, but also, again, I don't need to. So I think I'm just going to make my way out now and speak to you when I get to our flat here. But before I go, I do want to mention one thing which is very, very unique to Vienna. So I'm just going to position these here so I can use both of my hands. So as you can see, the mask that I'm wearing right now is a particular kind of mask. I'm not actually, you know, sure of what they're called. I have heard of the name, but I don't remember them. So I'm just gonna write down or put the name here of what these particular masks are called. The ones that have like, I don't really know. They're basically quite different to like the blue surgical mask that you can do, like the regular ones. Austria only allows people to use these kinds of masks, so it doesn't allow like any other sorts of masks. So surgical masks aren't allowed, other kinds of face coverings or like reusable ones, none of those are allowed here. And you will be able to see if you look at the people here. I know there's not a lot of people here anyway, so hard to tell, but yeah, everyone has a similar mask to me on, which I think is cool. I don't know why Austria's made this rule. I guess it's because, as far as I'm aware and as far as I've researched into it as well, these masks are meant to be a bit more protective than any other masks that are available to most people. So yeah, these are meant to protect both you, apparently, and people around you, whereas kind of most of the other masks only protect other people. So for that reason, Austria's rule at the moment, the law says that you can only wear these ones, and obviously you have to wear them everywhere indoors. And it was really interesting because once we landed and we were about to leave the airport, the flight attendants on the flight, on the Swiss Air flight, were handing out masks like this to people who didn't have them. Because on the flight, on the Swiss flight, there were loads of people that weren't wearing these kinds of masks. But I already knew because I've got family here. Of course I knew, people had told me, my cousin had told me, I knew, but a lot of people didn't. So the good thing is that even if you didn't know this, it's fine because they do hand them out to you for free, so you don't need to worry about that. And I'm sure like Austria's not the only country that has like unique rules right now. There must be other rules that are going on in other countries in the world right now that have to do with the pandemic. You know, the world is a really crazy mess right now. So just thought I'd let you know that like even if I didn't have this mask with me, it wouldn't have been a problem, but thankfully I did. And I think I was one of the few people that actually did. Most other people had to like collect one of those masks, whereas I just went past the flight attendant and I was like, mine's okay, right? She was like, yeah, absolutely. So that's that. Right, I'll see you. Let's say goodbye to this really empty airport. Like this is bizarre. I'll see you when I get home. Okay, I'm home. I'm back in my old teenage room. That's why there's loads of McFly posters everywhere, and there's like a guitar down there as well. I obviously do visit this room on a regular basis, like I said, but it's been a while since I have because of the pandemic. It's really hot, so that's why my hair is no longer down. Like, let me actually check. I think Vienna is currently about 28 degrees. Where's my phone? I want to say it's 28 degrees, and this flat, you know, our family flat that we have here, it's on the 5th floor. Okay, it's 25 degrees right now. In Vienna, but it's like, what's the time? Close to 8:30 p.m. so it's evening time, and it's still very, very hot. Thankfully we do actually have AC in this apartment, but it's not the best AC, and I did have to turn it off so that you would be able to hear me, otherwise the audio on here would be atrocious. Just wanted to quickly talk about my experience. I mean, firstly, the fact that it's 8:30 and I'm already in my house, like in my pajamas, ready to just enjoy the evening is incredible, considering at 7:30 I was at the airport waiting for my luggage. Like, very, very quick process. My mom was really surprised when I texted her. I was like, I'm home, mom, and she was like, whoa, like I thought you'd still be waiting at the airport. I was like, no. So that was really good. I was very impressed with the speed of it. I was also happy that it wasn't very busy, both in Zurich and also in the Vienna airport as well. I was a little bit scared of it being very crowded, you know, obviously with the pandemic and not being in like big crowds for so long. I didn't want to feel that way. However, I do have to say that on my flight from Zurich to Vienna with Swiss Air, I was in row 7A, I want to say, and initially there was nobody next to me. So basically what I noticed with both of the flights was that they'd always leave a gap in between seats. So unless you're from the same family or from the same group, they would make sure to leave at least one seat between you and somebody else, which I thought was good, you know, especially considering neither of the flights were like really empty. So there were enough people in both of them, but it still felt safe. However, as I said, in the second flight, initially there was no one next to me, but then just before the flight was about to take off, this family, there was a huge family, and the lady from that family, or one of the women from the family, was sat 2 seats next to me. So there's one empty seat, and there was this woman, but she was just a part of a big family. There were other people around her as well. There were kids as well. And yeah, like I said, just before we were about to take off, the family, the dad, I think, decided to ask their son to come and sit next to me, like right in the middle of me and this other woman. Obviously it was fine for the woman because she was a part of that family. I don't know if she was like the boy's mom or aunt or who she was, I don't know. All I know is that I ended up having a child next to me, and I don't know, like at least with adults they're all wearing masks, but children aren't like meant to be wearing masks. They can, but it's not required of them to wear masks, and this child definitely wasn't wearing a mask. I don't know how old he was, maybe about 5 or 6, but it did stress me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I just made sure to constantly look the other way, and I didn't take my mask off at all. On the first flight I did take my mask off a couple of times just to drink my water a little bit, but on the second mask I was just really scared, so I just didn't do anything. I was like trying to not look in the direction of the person or the people next to me, and it was fine. I mean, it was only a short flight, and it's really interesting because halfway through the flight this boy ended up going back to his original seat, wherever it was. I think it might have been a couple of rows back. Like I said, it was a big family, so there were quite a few adults with a couple of children, and yeah, it was fine for the rest of the flight. It was just for like maybe the first half hour that he came and sat next to me. I guess I understand it. It's difficult with children. Maybe he wanted to be right next to that woman for whatever reason. I don't know. But apart from that, it was absolutely fine. I did also get, as you might have seen earlier in the clip, an iconic Swiss Air chocolate. So these chocolates here literally remind me of my childhood, because Swiss Air and Austrian Airlines are probably my 2 most travelled with airlines. Makes sense, right? Because I was born and raised in Switzerland, and so obviously back then we would use Swiss Air a lot. And then when I eventually moved to the UK, we also lived in Austria for a while, but when we moved to the UK there wasn't really much of a need for us to use Swiss Air anymore, because I don't go to Switzerland often anymore. I do visit Austria on a regular basis because I've got family here, but I don't really have a lot of family members or friends in Switzerland. I do have a few, but I just don't visit it often. Maybe I should. But yeah, because I don't visit Switzerland that often, I don't really get to go on Swiss Air a lot anymore, and I miss it, you know. It's a fun airline. It's one that like brings me back a lot of childhood memories. I remember getting so excited when I was a child to get these chocolates, and I'm really glad that they still give them out. And we all know that Swiss chocolate is one of the best chocolates in the world, so I'm excited to eat it. As I said, I didn't eat it on the actual flight because I just didn't feel comfortable taking my mask off, and I'm glad I didn't because now I can just enjoy it in the comfort of my room with all the McFly boys just staring at me. Also, I've just noticed you can see my friend there as well. That's a little cushion that I got for my friend a couple of years ago now as a joke present because I like doing that. She was here with me, but unfortunately she didn't have enough space in her luggage to take it back with her to the UK, and neither did I at the time, to be fair. So I just thought I'm just going to leave it here and I'll just see her every time I come, her little face. So shout out to Sam over here. We've also got Minnie on my other side, which is very cute. I don't even know when I got this mini cushion. Years and years ago. I must have been about 14 or 15. It must have been when I first moved to this apartment. By the way, whenever I say I mean my family. Like, yeah, this isn't my apartment, this is like my family apartment, if that makes sense. But yeah, also thought I'd show you the specific masks. They're called FFP2 masks, I think. I can't remember the name, but my lovely mom actually did this for me with some paracetamol, some like hand gel, allergy pills, a lot of stuff that I would need. And she also did include a few extra masks for me that are usable here, like in Austria. So I do have enough of the masks that you're required to wear here, and the government does actually give them out for free to people that live in Austria, so it's not like you have to pay extra for them or anything. In fact, again, thanks to my aunt, I already actually have some in the flat that they brought over before I arrived. They're not here right now. I'm gonna hopefully see them at some point in the next few days. I'm gonna have to quarantine for a bit first, but yeah, that is it. I am gonna enjoy this Oreo now. It's actually a double stuffed one, and I haven't had Oreos in ages. I also have some iced latte in the fridge downstairs, and I'm gonna go and enjoy that as well because I just need something cold. It is so hot here, Lord have mercy. I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. I have no idea how it's gonna turn out, but I did try my best to show you what it's like to travel, at least within Europe, now that there's a pandemic going on in 2021. I can say that I personally felt fine. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how quickly things moved on as well. I was a little bit worried at first, like I said, and there were moments on the plane, for instance, when the kid came and sat next to me that I was a bit worried, but overall it was a pleasant experience. Of course, it's not going to be the same as before. Everyone has to wear masks. There are extra forms that you have to fill in, extra checks, but all in all, it was a pleasant experience, and I'm really happy to be flying again. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram if you want to for more videos and more of me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!